A fruit is something that comes from a tree. And what defines a tree? Look at these. See the buds about to burst. What defines a tree? That it doesn't die in the winter. It shouldn't die in the winter. If it survives, then it's something that we can say a blessing, on. If it doesn't, like a banana tree, for example, is not a tree because it dies in the winter and then it's actually reborn and recreated. So a little bit of a difference between the scientific view and the Torah view. I think that in science, the idea of a tree is something, where are the seeds? If the seeds are in the center. For some reason I remember that, like in third grade or fifth grade, something like that. These cherry blossoms about to spring. And of course, the lesson for us in our own lives is that we have to be like those trees. In the Torah portion of Shoftim, we're told, a person is a tree of the field. It's actually asked as a rhetorical question with an exclamation mark. People are being told, well, you're going out to war against people. Are you going to cut down the trees? Don't do that. As a person, a tree of the field. But here, with wonderment. And yet, it is taken also to mean a person is a tree of the field. Today is our birthday. It's one of the 4 new years of the year. One is Rosh Hashanah and Pesach, and then we have for the grains and then for the fruits. So these trees, we are not like trees, but we are trees. I've been posting a number of pictures about trees and places that I've been the last while. So the lesson is we have to grow through the winter of our lives. Not easy, but that's what makes a person a tree, is that ability to say I'm growing. Now the land of Israel is praised for 7 fruits, and you can check out on my website, there's a really great lecture that I gave. It's called 7 Foods for 7 Habits, and there's a beautiful sheet that comes with it. It's on sale today. But what I did want to share is that 7th fruit, something I don't think that I discussed on that original lecture. The 7th fruit is the date. It's called dvash, honey, but of course it doesn't mean honey. That honey, the land of Israel was flowing with milk and honey. It's not the milk of cows and the honey of bees, but rather the milk of goats and the honey of dates. And the goats used to stand under the trees and kind of get some ease from the Middle Eastern sun. And they were so well fed that their milk used to drip from their udders. Just beautiful image. And then the dates on the trees would fall and flow through the land. It was literally flowing with milk and honey. And the last of the fruits, so we've got a land of wheat and barley, and then there are these 5 fruits, the last of which is the dates. It's not mentioned as tzmarim, but as dvash, this honey that came from them. This beautiful lesson about this being the last fruit. Apparently, it's the most praiseworthy of the fruits. It's actually associated with the prophetess Devorah. Just like the olive oil is associated with Miriam, right? Shem and Zayis. There are 3 foods that are not actually listed as the foods themselves. They are listed as the liquid. So instead of grapes, you've got the juice of the geffen, the juice of the grapes, and instead of the dates, you've got the dvash, the honey, and instead of the oil, instead of the olives, you've got the oil from those olives. Anyway, so the olives are associated with the prophetess Miriam, and the dates are associated with Devorah, whose name, incidentally, means bees. Interesting, because the honey was not the honey from bees, as I said before. But this is the most praised of those foods, the different species, and we are taught it takes 70 years for a date tree to give its fruit. Now, I don't think scientifically that's actually the fact. The way I understand that is that it takes 70 years until it'll give the fullness of its fruit. The lesson from this is that we have to realize time takes time. You know, I have a friend who went to the Ohel, the Rebbe's Ohel, and prayed on behalf of someone she was very worried about. And when she came out, it was around this time in Tu B'Shvat. I don't know if it was actually the day of Tu B'Shvat, but she came out, and the Rebbe was speaking, and he said, you have to know that the last of the fruits is Tu B'Shvat, is the dates, and that is to teach us that it might take 70 years, but you'll get there. So the first lesson we have from the trees is that a tree, to qualify as a tree, you have to survive the winter. And the second lesson is that time takes time. Not only are you going to go through that kind of metaphoric winter, but it will take time. Look, it doesn't have to take 70 years, but it is going to take time. The last thing that I wanted to share today is that if you look at these trees, do you see how they come up and then they branch, and then they branch? It's very much like your mind, right? Just this complexity. But we know that Devorah sat under a palm tree. And Rashi tells us, why was she sitting under the palm tree? And he gives two explanations. One is because of modesty. Look, you know, way before the Me Too movement, she understood the danger of being alone, secluded in a room with a man. And so she didn't do that. But she was a judge, and she had to meet with men, and so she made sure to sit outside. She sat outside, but it's the hot Middle Eastern sun, and she wanted some shade. And so she sat under the shade of a tree. But other trees have their leaves much lower down. And you can see over here the base of the trunk and how low these leaves would be, especially in the summer. And so she sat under a date tree, which is taller, in order to have the shade, but also maintain her modesty. And then Rashi tells us there was another reason, and that is because unlike these trees, where you have the branches moving out and then other branches, so that some leaves are coming from this side and other leaves are coming from that side, with a palm tree, they have what Rashi calls lev echad, one heart. There's one heart to the entire tree from which all the leaves emerge. And so too in her generation, the leaves emerged from the palm tree under which she sat, and the people of her generation all had one heart. And I think that those two commentaries on why she said under the palm are connected. When you have modesty, you have unity. When you have unity, there isn't a need to position yourself and to flash your body. I heard about the halftime ad at the Super Bowl. Just atrocious. I mean, that is supposed to be empowering women to dress like a prostitute and act like one. Well, not according to Tara. Not according to Devorah. She sat under that tree because she wanted to unite the heart of the people of Israel. Anyway, so those are some thoughts on trees for today. If you go on the website shimona.org and click on shop, you'll see there's a product. I think it's 7 Foods for 7 Habits. I'll put the link underneath when I get home. And you'll be able to download a program, a lecture that I gave years ago, which is about Tu B'Shvat and the 7 foods and what they symbolize in terms of our service of our Creator. And there's a beautiful chart there